I guess. I don't know if they had put it out to anybody else or not. But anyway, it was sent to me, I think through Mita Rosenberg, and she kind of liked it. She sent it to me. And it was a character, as I started to say, from another series that Roy was doing. And Steve Cannell said, I like this character. You think I could write a script for it? He said, well, go ahead. And he did. And they sent it to me, and I liked it. And I said, but one thing I want is I want this writer, Steve Cannell, as a writer-producer, because I want him there all the time, because he knew the character. No, he was writing pretty much on staff and doing stuff for Roy, I think, in his company and Universal. But anyway, I wanted him as a writer-producer, and that was part of my stipulation. And I also told Roy, I said, Roy, I've got an executive producer, and I've got a writer-producer. What are you going to do? And he said, well, I'm good fixing scripts and good in the editing room. And I said, fine, okay, because I didn't want him putting his hands on it, really. And that is not that I didn't like Roy, but I knew there'd be terrible conflicts if he did. And I didn't want that. So what happened was, we're into the first year, and I had this scene, and they were sent out some yellow pages on it. And I read it, I said, the night before, and I said, this doesn't work. I said, it's not good, it won't work. I prefer what we had. So I went to set the next day, and I started shooting, and I said, this is not going to work, this is terrible. So I called Steve Cannell, and I said, Steve, the new yellow pages came back through last night. I said, doesn't work in scene, whatever it was. He said, well, really? I'll be down to set in a few minutes. I don't have my script there. I'll be down there in a few minutes. He came down, and he looked at these yellow pages. He had never seen them. Roy had written them and sent them through without letting anybody else know about it. And so we went back to the original, shot that, and I put out a directive Roy Huggins would not have anything to do with the scripts. Well, Roy went through the roof, of course. But I had to maintain a company here, you know, and Roy was kind of an outside influence to it. And so we kind of got into it over that. Most prolific writer I've seen in many, many years. He could just pour them out. I watched he and David Chase. We needed a script on Monday, and this was like a Wednesday. And they started talking about a storyline, and David or Steve said, I'll write the first half, you write the other half. They put them together on Monday, and they worked. That's how good they were. I was very fortunate. I had the three best writers, and Steve Cannell, David Chase, and Juanita Bartlett, who used to be my secretary. She was mine and Mita Rosenberg's secretary when we were doing Nichols. And she wrote a couple of scripts for Nichols and then started on Rockford.